Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Consortium Interregnum. You guys excited?
I'm hyped up. Let's go.
We had kind of a lore dump last time. You guys remember what happened?
We talked
absorbed
to
all of the subtle details that I added that will become very important later on that I didn't make seem important when I was telling them to you.
Yes, we basically found out the mystery behind Blair's god, which is crazy.
Slightly.
I mean, also, maybe he was just spitballing, you know?
Yeah.
We also found Luna's grandpa.
It literally fits
Luna,
all of the...
Look.
Well, you found one of his ancestors.
Oh yeah, we also found one of Luna's ancestors.
Yeah.
Definitely not related to Lunu.
What?
Yeah, definitely not related.
Definitely not related.
It's
exactly
like,
related
he doesn't have white hair and blue eyes like I do, so, yeah.
He's, you don't really know what he looks like. He's a sword.
Yeah.
Blair's just listening to this conversation, these two people who sound so similar, and she's just like, there's no way they're not related. Also, we got that sword, that allegedly cursed sword from the Pope. We came to an agreement with the Pope to make Bubbles a god.
Yeah, that won't have any repercussions.
Yeah,
I'm sure none.
We're in thoughts about. Honestly, the more I think of it, the more evil I think the Pope is.
Potentially, but then, but Blair's, opinion of it went way up when he explained that her god is likely the will of all of the previous gods of the sea put into one being to basically manage the purgatory.
You think maybe he was just buttering you up so that way you'd support him?
Yeah.
I don't know. He called me a heathen at first, so I feel like no. That was his opening line. Was yes, I heard you were a heathen.
Yeah, but he didn't mean it disrespectfully.
Allegedly. However, he then gave me a legitimate thesis paper on what he believes is the answer, the explanation for my insane ramblings.
Yes, because it seems like he's been doing an insane amount of research on every single one of you.
And then was baffled when he's like, why the fuck does nothing she say make any sense?
Man.
And then he figured it out for me. Which, all I'm saying is that I have a lot to discuss my god the next time I go to speak with him.
Man, I'm just saying sorcerers with schizophrenia are absolutely terrifying.
Listen, you. Who summoned that giant whale? That's right.
You're magic.
Yes.
I too can cast spells.
I don't have summoned giant whale, thank you very much. That's not in my repertoire.
You could have learned it. I could learn summon giant whale at some point.
What level?
I don't know that.
You just polymorph a nearby bug.
Good question, Mega Man.
Okay, so yes. All I'm saying is that Blair feels very validated and is definitely, yes, in great straits, is what I'm saying. Speaking of stuff, we're getting a time skip right now, aren't we?
Well, so that's what we're going to be kind of going over. It's not going to be an instantaneous thing. I'm going to describe it as we're going. So first off, obviously, you guys are going to be continuing, to push Bubbles to speak with the others. Is there anything unrelated to the main plot that you guys want to do during this time skip that your characters would like to focus on? Obviously, you have the same things that you've been doing before, but is there anything that you would like to add?
Yes.
Yeah.
What does your character do during this extended time period?
So what I want to do, I was learning Deep Speak from William as well.
So you would like to find a new teacher to finish your lessons?
Yes, I would very much like to do that because then I can also tutor Basil because then I'll be able to read the stupid spell book from Squilliam that we still have.
Yes.
And it'll also help me with my constant run-ins with deep creatures in general.
All right. So what I'm going to have you do let's take a look here. So roll me.
Don't know. You can roll me either a investigation, or since you're also using the spell book as a point of reference, and Arcana, or if there's something else that you think makes sense that you're going to use, let me know. I'll see. So what about finding a local, like, I don't know, either some sort of like school or something or university, and then persuading someone like a teacher or tutor to take me on, even if it's for a few.
You take the middle school.
All right. So you have interacted with some of the smaller bard colleges around. So you do know that there are schools that would do that. So yeah, I'll allow you to roll persuasion to try and negotiate a good price.
Okay. All right. So I also realize let me actually go back into the stream to watch. All right, Tasura.
All right, should be open.
Would you like me to roll for you?
You know what? Yeah, actually, I will allow that. It might be just faster. So then Tasura doesn't have to keep swapping back and forth. Also, I want to see if Tom is first.
You got an 11.
Wow. Okay, never mind. Tasura, you're rolling for me.
Well,
I gotcha.
Maybe this is the one bad roll. We're getting it out now.
Okay, fine. I'll give you one more roll, Tom, but you're on thin ice.
Yeah, so you're able to find someone pretty easily. You're able to negotiate a price. Let's just say it's 100 shiny.
That's fine.
For several weeks of lessons. Still roll me. You'll get it with advantage, but still have me roll one of the investigation or Arcana.
How? Oh god.
Oh, they're the same.
Yeah,
which
minus
one?
one of those.
Oh no! All right, Sarah.
Which one do you want?
Investigation. Arcana's cursed. Holy shit!
So it takes you a good amount of time, but because you already were almost essentially well versed in it, taking the extra study, you're proficient enough that you'd be able to hold people's conversation. They'd be able to tell that you're a recent learner still, but functionally you can read and understand the language.
Okay, great. All right, perfect.
All right, so Sarah, you also said you had something that you wanted to focus on?
All right, yeah. So, because we got a level in that time between sessions or something, right? I got resilient in wisdom. So I want to just ask Blair and Lunu and any other spellcaster I know to just constantly bombard me with wisdom spells until I'm good until I can just resist that through force of will.
Wisdom spells? Do I have
Like
any
wisdom
wisdom
saving
spells?
throw shit.
I think I might have some stuff I can throw.
Oh yeah,
at you.
you're a couple of your charm things probably are based off of wisdom.
Is suggestion wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, I'll just suggest you over and over again and make you do stupid shit if you don't get it right. Just like
All right.
harmless stupid shit.
Make me a general wisdom saving throw, but you do add your proficiency bonus to the point of it for this, since you have gotten it.
Let's go. 25.
Holy shit! I didn't realize your wisdom was that high.
Nice. That is extremely good. So
Yeah, I'm trying to train against these two. We got two spellcasters that we're going against, right?
Mhm.
So I gotta not get caught on my ass.
Is counterspell wisdom saving throw?
No.
I don't have any spells to counter.
No. But let's take a look here. Because what I'll probably do for this, because I had a couple of item ideas for you. And what I'll probably do is just give you the. Let me see if I can find the. What's it called? Well, this isn't what I want. So as a part of your training, you obviously gain the ability of the proficiency. But in that process, you also have your. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. I got some feedback and I wasn't sure if I'd cut out or not. You have your the amulet of health.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if that's what it's called, but your amulet that boosts your constitution.
Yeah.
In the process of you doing all of this training, you kind of start falling back on your wild magic, and it appears as if it is beginning to affect this amulet that you've had on you for so long, and you start to notice it kind of looks different. It starts to get some fey aesthetic drawings and writing around it, as if it's morphing into something new. You feel as if the power inside of it is still slumbering, but in addition to its normal abilities, it now also gives you advantage on saving throws made to avoid being charmed or frightened, or to end those conditions on you.
Okay, nice.
And theoretically, you feel as if it may increase, and so in order so that way you can write it down stat wise, even though it's not technically what I'm giving you. It's gaining this set of items as a secondary thing. So more than likely, it will also become more powerful in the long run.
All right. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling nice.
Do you want to go first, Con, or do you?
No, you go ahead.
I am thinking. I'm trying to want George to shop around for new magical armor or a magic shield. I think he only has the budget for one right now.
So, I'm going to be giving you guys some more magical equipment in just a second. Besides that general shopping around, is there anything else George does?
Let's see if he can make some money with his.
Also,
chicken.
Austin, you never sent me the magic items that you have.
I'm sorry, work's been busy.
I'm just saying you just never did it.
I will find some in the meantime.
I'm calling you out.
I'm weak. I know. Then George will earn money to save up for these magic items. Is there a way that George can make quick cash?
You want to do legally or not legally?
Well, how much would I earn if I did it legal?
I'd do a roll for both of them. You would assume that probably the not legal ones would get you more money.
What kind of roll do I roll?
The legal one, I'd say roll either. Well, I guess you'd probably be doing mostly Navy stuff. So I would have you roll like your sailing ability. But obviously, like if you wanted to do like if you were like, I'm gonna volunteer at the local clinic, then it would be your water. Well, you didn't hear what the other ones were gonna be. It sounds like you want to do the legal one.
Yep, the legal way.
You got too much of a public spotlight, man.
Yeah, no, George can't be sneaky anymore. All eyes are on George.
And all pretty much all of the weapons that you use are one-handed, right?
Yeah, I use a shield and a sword gun thing.
Do you already use a shield?
I have a shield. It's that turtle shell shield that's like seen better days at this point.
Nice. Because it's not like a +1 anything or like that, right?
Yeah, it's not a +1 shield. It's just normal ass shield.
All right, let's take a look here. Do. Oh, that's interesting. Trying to find something since I didn't have anything quite set up for you.
All right.
Sorry, I found a dumb one. It's it's the shield of shouting. When you hold it, it's like a megaphone. It just amplifies anything you say.
God, I actually
just
found
very funny.
I don't know if you would let me have this. There's an item called the Sapphire Buckler.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that one. Yeah, that one's not let's see here. So you have to use your reaction to activate the thunder damage.
Yeah, I don't
And
even
it's
have
not a lot.
reaction.
Yeah, what we'll do is and it doesn't offer any additional bonuses to AC, so I don't think this thing's too overpowered. Yeah, we give you that one.
Yeah. George is looking for
We'll
like
say
a new
that as you're doing your legal ship trade, there's at one point, you find uh, uh, a company that is in dire need of some liquid cash, and they need to make a big score, and they put you on it because you're the most experienced, and you perform it, and because they don't have any money, they pay you in this, and they give you this sapphire buckler. So it's a +2 AC, and it does some cool stuff with aberrations. I don't know if that'll ever come up. It gives you some nice resistances, and it can deal some thunder damage, which I feel like goes with your aesthetic of like being a storm individual. So yeah, I think that that works out.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you, sir.
And you rolled pretty well. Connar, you're up.
All right, what am I doing during our time skip?
In addition to the other stuff that we'll go over.
I guess other than preparing for what comes ahead, seeing if I could get any how do I put it? There's not really many magic items that can help me right now. Or at least other than like maybe a spell storing ring, but that's kind of pricey. I think Luna's gonna take time to get to know potential familial sickle. Find out why did the Pope have you?
So
and, figure out
he's like
potential.
He's
of
like,
where
what do
my
you
dad
mean?
Is. So
he's like, the Pope gave me to you.
Yeah.
He says, well, I grew up in an Aethervathy that doesn't look like any of the Aethervathy that I see here today. And I was a part of, I guess, what's an early version of the church that you see here today. And if I had to guess, I was probably just passed down.
What are you? I'm assuming you are a person.
He says, well, yeah, I was, before I was cursed and turned into a sword. He says, the problem is that I'm pretty sure the person that cursed me was myself. Out of shame. Because I lost my son. I couldn't find him.
So
he says early Aethervathy was a wild place, before people figured out how to become these simic hybrids. This wasn't always a thing, he says. Back in my time, if you didn't know how to breathe underwater, you just couldn't leave. We didn't know how to control the tentacles. So,
was the god still dead when you were alive?
Oh, he says, oh, yeah, he was definitely dead. But this was, very early in terms of when the gods had died. My family, he says, we're on a shipwreck, and my parents were saved by a giant tentacle that came out of the water after their ship was in distress, and basically sucked everybody up and forced them into Aethervathy. And we were there with basically a bunch of other people, just kind of fighting to survive. They would have definitely died if Aethervathy didn't do anything, which is why they, started worshiping him. We were pretty sure that he was dead, but the tentacles moved. They moved on their own. Looks like they've figured out something how to control them now. I became a warrior. It was a very violent time, and when I was off doing my warrior things, my family disappeared, and I came back, and it was my hubris. Like, I didn't need to go off. I could have stayed with them and protect them. And in my grief, my powers, kind of went out of control, and I turned myself into a sword.
So what were you beforehand? What, are you an elf, or were you man? I don't know. People confuse me for an elf, but elves do not have antlers.
Mm-hmm. He says, my family, were humans, but he says that his wife was an elf.
Oh.
He says, so you probably got a little bit of both in you.
That's interesting.
He says, but
I had a grandpa, or at least the thing that told me to call it grandpa. It was a great deer. It was this big creature, more so, that would speak esoterically at me and try to give me life lessons, or at least tell me how to fend for myself. And then I met Cinna while in the dream realm. I was there for quite a while. Do you know anyone from the dream realm?
She says, nope, never even heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's that is where at least I am from, and I got curious about, because I didn't look like my granddad.
If I could get you to roll me,
All right.
an Arcana, Perception, or Investigation check for me.
I'm gonna roll Perception, because that's a +9. Compared to Investigation, which is -1, and Arcana, which is 3. So let's fucking go. 21.
All right, nice. In your talkings with the sword, you kind of realize that he's a little bit confused about the modern state of things. That he's basically been in a box for a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
And what you so you start digging into the history, and asking around, and you eventually notice something in terms of, like, with your you reach out to the science directorate to ask them if they knew anything, and you reach out to the Pope and see if they know anything. And as you're gathering this information, you notice something, and that is, in the science directorate's history, there's an individual who you think may be this guy's son. was one of the founders of the Science Directorate in the early, in terms of like figuring out how to control the octopus tentacles. It was very involved in that research. And what really kind of sparks your eye about it is that this person mysteriously disappeared while trying to figure out how to set up teleporters. Before they figured out how to move the tentacles, one of the theories that they were going to use in order to get around was to set up teleporters. And the description of the kind of teleportation that he was sucked into, in your mind, reminds you quite a bit of the Fey Realm. And when you look into this person's story a little bit further, you realize that this person talked about having a father that meets the description of the sword, of how he described himself. So now you need to decide, do you share this information with the sword? Because this is an individual that vanished several hundred years ago.
For a moment, I thought like his last words would be like, "Fuck you, Archimedes, you piece of shit."
Go watch Hag Hunters for context. Anyway, I'll let him know. Lunu wouldn't hold that back from this thing. It's been a few hundred years, but that person is long gone. I explained everything about them working on, transportation around the octopus.
So you piece together the stories with the sword about how he goes off to fight in a battle that he had no business going to, for his own glory. Coming back, and his family haven't been taken. And in this guy's story, he talks about his father leaving to go fight a battle that he didn't need to go fight in, and was, their little section was attacked. He was kidnapped. Was basically raised as a slave in a neighboring fiefdom. And eventually was a part of a revolt that then coalesced in order to kind of create the first kingdom of Aethervathy. And the sword seems very happy. He says, although I may not have found my son per se, at least I know that he was okay. He lived. And he went off to go do great things.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you think there's gotta be a log or some sort of census or something of Aethervathy? I know it was early on, but there's gotta be some sort of, information about this family line somewhere. If we just went to our local library.
Well, remember, he vanished.
Oh.
So the line ends with him in terms of as far as Aethervathy is concerned.
Is there anything that would help me decipher what he was doing before he vanished?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. So me and the sword are basically going to our local library or whatever big library, trying to figure things out. That's an 8. If you allow me to use guidance, no, even guidance wouldn't give me a lot here. So,
based off of what I said before about how he's working on teleportation, you assume that it was a experiment with that gone wrong. The obvious thing is that he got sucked into the Fey realm, into the dream realm. But in terms of exactly what he was working on, or clues to how that would have happened, you're not able to really get anything. A lot of it is just simply because the documents are so old, and the reporting at the time was not as robust as it is today.
Interesting. I wish. So, just to try to get the story together, it sounds like your son, before. Did the son have any familial relations, like, wife, kids, while in Averdathy?
You're not able to find anything listed,
Okay.
which probably means that he didn't. Most of the other ones at the time, it would at least like say if they had any children, or like
Yeah.
like in the desert, survived by. There's none of that listed there.
So, from the sounds of it, he basically he transported himself into most likely the dream realm, and he stayed there for, or at least his generations preceding him, for quite a while, and then. But that doesn't explain where I can find my dad.
He thinks for a little bit.
Because I asked the great deer, our grandpa, where my dad was, and he told me Averdathy. He's usually
He
not
thinks
wrong
for a little
about where
bit.
stuff is.
He thinks for a little bit, and then he says, "Well, if I'm your ancestor, maybe your father figured out where his ancestry was from, and came here to look into it. To see his roots."
I mean, there's also the potential of you being my granddad. Time doesn't work like it does here in Dream. We could be closer related or very distant. I don't know.
He says, what do you mean?
Time.
Are you saying that my son might actually possibly still be alive?
It's a possibility. It could happen. I don't want to get your hopes up too much, though. It's a possibility.
He says, well, we've got the two of us here. I'm sure we can come up with something.
I might have to visit my other grandpa sometime soon.
Yeah, maybe ask him for a clue, although you said that he kind of spoke weird.
It's a very esoteric. He said Averdathy. Do you know Sylvan? Do you speak that?
He says, what's that?
It's a different language. It's sort of what people in Dream speak. His version of Sylvan is very. It's got pronunciations in primordial that I don't even understand. Sometimes he speaks Sylvan and backwards, which is real fucked, and sounds like nothing. And then he expects you to get it.
Yeah, he says, well, if we can't find anything, we'll reach out to him. I think the best thing that we could do at this point is, if your father is my son, then he'll have come back to a place that he doesn't recognize, and he might not really be sure what he's doing. So maybe we should follow that. Or if it's an ancestor, he may be trying to retrace the steps of his ancestry, in which case he'd be going around to the old stomping ground in the core. but I don't even know if it's the same. Everything's been constructed differently.
I mean, we could attempt going to the core sometime soon. I have also another huge issue with this whole consortium stuff. Our candidate on the potential of godhood, which isn't ideal. It's a lot. I'm going through a lot right now. You gotta understand. I almost
says, well,
forgot
look,
about
if
the
it-
whole dad thing for a bit.
He says, sometimes the journey is the gods we make along the way.
Luna laughs. Oh god, I
he
really
says,
hope we don't have to do that.
Yeah. And then he says, I've had enough now. Can you have a drink for me?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can have a smoke for you too.
And he says, I don't know what that means.
It's going to
Who's
be
been
wild.
stealing these cigars?
I wouldn't steal his cigars. Lunu smokes weed. This is canon.
Yeah.
Damn.
You're gonna get over here.
Where did we stash?
But all right. So now we're gonna bring it back in with the whole party.
My seaweed. I'm sorry.
About halfway through this time skip, you guys are all hanging out inside of your location, and the door opens up, and Tito comes in, and he's wide-eyed. He looks excited.
Oh no!
Absolutely, incredibly excited.
All right, guys.
And he comes in.
I whisper to the others. All right, we'll kill him on the count of 3. Hey, Tito.
Yeah. And he says, I don't know how you guys did it, but the science directorate has let me back in.
Why?
And they say something about a bunch of people freaking out over a murder of one of the candidates and them, picking a side more solidly and them going to be providing direct lines of resources directly to you. And they're putting me in charge of that because I know you guys.
Oh no!
He says, I have so many ideas on how to use these resources.
Oh no!
He says, I've even got this document here saying that I am reformed. I don't know what that means, considering I don't feel any different.
Alright. I like to cast Guiding Bolt at Tito at highest level I can.
He says,
for the best.
He says, I have so many ideas about how to improve your guys' equipment.
Can you make a gadget that makes Lunu miss guiding bolts less often?
He says there's not a force on this earth that can make guiding bolt hit more often.
Hey, I like to redirect my max level Guiding Bolt to Steven.
Yeah.
Not the player.
It's not even to blame Steven specifically.
Yeah.
All right,
Am I wrong though? Would you not have become his greatest fan if he made you a gadget that improve your guiding
roll
bolt?
it. Steven has an 11 AC.
Oh no!
It would have been really funny if you rolled a 1, considering your bonus was an 11.
Steven,
The only way
I don't think you can survive.
Damn it, coward!
It's a
We all have like
5th
4
level.
HP.
Well, good news.
Yeah, fuck! I live that easy!
Steven, are you
I'll be honest.
are you trying to tell me
Average,
you have more than
I am
20
not a villager,
HP?
you fool! I'm a lawyer! So what's a lawyer stat block?
Commoner.
Come
Yeah.
on.
I'm not a commoner! Get fucked! I'm a noble at least! I have an Esquire title! Go fuck yourself!
If you were a noble
I have at
spot,
least
you
9
still
HP,
die
I know
just
it.
as hard.
I paid good money for that better CR rating. Okay.
Well, all right. Let's take a look.
Steven is a noble.
Yes. I definitely lived this. There's no way.
Hey, Austin, can you roll your next attack against Steven? You have advantage.
You're not flanking. You cast a
Hey,
guiding bolt.
so
No.
Guiding bolt gives you advantage, bro.
Yeah.
Lawyer means that you're a part of the law. Therefore, you have a royal title. However, you have 9 HP.
Oh, that's perfect. I live on one. Get fucked.
No, there's an
No,
extra
it's
15 right there.
It's upcasted. You still die.
Yeah.
Oh no! I only read the first number.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
If it was just the
This is
first
fun.
number, I would have lived.
I guess.
So much for that.
Blair,
logic,
roll up
right?
a new player. I don't know what to do about this.
It's my French Steven. The ultimate universe Steven here to Blair's
no. Races and allegations.
We're not beating them. We're not beating them, boys.
Yep. No.
Fun fact, I'm actually German, but the place in Germany I come from was actually annexed by France, like 100 years ago or something, during like World War whatever.
Well, you're from the Rhineland.
I have no idea what it's called, but it literally is like just on the border, and at some point it got annexed by France. But all the people there are still German. But technically, you could say I'm also French, which is one of the worst.
Has literally just said the Rhineland.
So yes, if that's the place, then that's the place.
Well, yeah, but
That works. That I'm English
it's
because
like a
colonialism.
region, most of it's in Germany, but they
That
traded
is
that area back and forth quite frequently.
Yeah, so that is where my fucking ancestry comes all the way back from. It's from those fuckers who keep getting annexed by France.
Maybe it's Bar? It's Bar?
I wish I actually remembered, but alas, I absolutely do not.
Either way, you're dead. I
But
did
don't
enough
worry,
damage to kill your next 3 players.
Save this day.
I did enough damage to kill your next 3 players.
Like,
No, you didn't. How much damage is that?
8 plus 15.
Fuck! Oh no! Friend Steven is dying. Oh no! All right, wait. So like that means no. I can live the next one. I need a new one. Well, I don't have any other accents I can use.
Do you not have like an off-white fucking?
Hello, my dudes. It's me, Surfer Dude Bro Steven. I grew up in California instead of Florida. How the fuck do I know any of you guys? I don't know.
Internet.
But now I'm officially the Steven for the rest of this entire campaign. Now you have to live with the consequences of your actions. I'll sing all the rest of Blair's songs. In this
I
voice
forgot
too.
about my bonus action.
Oh, you're not a sorcerer.
I have spells that are bonus actions, dumbass. In fact,
I can't wait to watch you miss.
In
Hit me with
fact,
that great bonfire.
He has advantage.
Great bonfires.
Oh,
yep. It is. It's my archer form, starry form archer. It's plus 11.
Oh no.
16.
Wait, what's the Royals AC?
A noble's AC. 15.
Oh, that's
so
only if
it's-
you're wearing a breastplate. Are you wearing a breastplate right now?
Yes, my suit.
I still
Counts
hit.
as a breastplate.
I still hit.
Still hit.
That's 7 extra damage. We get
That
to.
kills you.
Oh, you lived through this one at least.
No, we killed like 2 Stevens. Now we killed 3 Stevens altogether. I'm real proud
This
of this
is for the
achievement.
leftover. This is the leftover HP.
Yar, get the eye, Pirate Steven! You truly fucked up by
George
killing the
kills
first
Pirate
three.
Steven.
You scurvy dogs!
It's like only one pirate allowed in this campaign.
Exactly, so I'd be
Don't be
stealing off
stupid
your
on me,
character
Craig.
now.
Don't be stepping on me, sir.
So,
Cinna.
Cinna,
So you still die.
Tito goes up to you, and he says, I think I found a way to fine-tune your wild magic that surges through the anchor.
Oh, for real?
And he has to borrow the anchor for a couple of days.
I mean, yeah, sure. I'm doing my training anyway. I can spend some time with the other weapons I have.
Are we about to get fucking bubbles?
Yeah,
We might get
I'm
bubbles.
gonna also state, Tom. Lunu has been messaging Bubbles nonstop to the
I
point
was
of
wondering if you guys would.
yeah. This entire time, I just
She
want
responds back exclusively in emojis.
where the fuck are
as best
you?
as you can translate, you have no idea how things are going.
Is there an eggplant in there at any point?
No.
No,
Is there a peach?
No, she keeps sending me onion. What does onion mean?
Yeah.
There's an onion emoji?
It is an onion. There has to be.
Does that just mean Shrek? Is she talking with ogres?
You get the feeling that either she's dealing with trying to avoid a major international incident, or the grocery store is out of grapes.
Because yes, onions are a suitable grape replacement.
Oh no. The
I
onions
mean, you get
was
the
in
pearl
the
onions. Those are pretty good.
grocery store thing. Yeah. No. She also used the grape emoji for the grapes.
You know, as one does.
Hey, good dude.
I
found.
Yeah, but all right. So first, Cinna, he takes your anchor. He goes up to the Austin and Stephen, and he asks for your weapons as well. He says, "I can upgrade them."
All right.
Well, Mr. Tito. Wait, is there anything we wanted to ask for specifically? Mm-hmm. What do you think, Austin? Any other capabilities you've been thinking of?
I want bigger boom.
Bigger what?
Bigger boom. A kablooey. A kablowy.
Okay,
So
now that we have all these...
Have you just tried dynamite?
I tried dynamite.
Did you try the one I've had in my pocket this entire time?
How do you think my crew killed me?
Tito says, "I'll be honest. I thought they gutted you."
Yeah, and then they threw dynamite. Unfortunately, once the dynamite hit the water, the fuse went out, so it didn't do anything.
Hey Tito, look up waterproof fuses.
So I have a
he looks over to you and is like, "Well, this has actually already come up before, and I have." And the answer is phosphorus.
Don't look up waterproof fuses.
I have a stick of thankfully not waterproof TNT in my inventory from when he almost blew up the drag show.
I'm pretty sure that's when it came up about the waterproof fruit fuses.
I was like,
figured it out. He's got them now.
Yeah, Lunu. Hey guys, get your stuff, and then we need to have a very important talk with Tito.
The other thing I guess I wanted to ask him about, is I wanted to ask if he could look into armor as well.
Yeah, I just need like a slight bonus to me coat.
He says, "Yeah, what kind of armor are you wearing right now?"
I think I'm wearing a chain shirt? ?
And you can wear medium armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his chain shirt's medium armor. Yeah, he's like, yeah. I mean, I don't know why you just don't buy like a better base armor. Your chain shirt's not really going to do you very much.
I know. Maybe I should just go and buy one then, I suppose. If he didn't already have any ideas or wasn't already thinking of it, or if he's just in general more of an arms guy, that's this. Yeah. But if he had been cooking
Hey, guys.
Yeah, he says that he doesn't specialize in armor, but he's like, a half plate's gonna protect you a lot more than a chain shirt.
Do I know the contact number for the science minister person?
Are you gonna rat him out when we're getting all this free resources?
Yes, you guys have contact with her.
Please don't rat our guy.
Oh,
before
no, I'm just sort of like, what did Tito do to get your trust back?
She responds back with, it's more of trust and necessity with you guys. I trust that if he steps out of line, you'll take care of it.
Can you, like,
of course,
have us sign off on any resources he gets?
Please have us send us a list of his resource.
They're like, yeah, we'll forward you any invoices he asks for.
Thank God.
Thank you.
That's the responsible thing to do for sure.
Yeah. No.
Okay,
Well,
actually,
do you guys want to send a copy to Charlemagne and tell him to let you know if anything pops up that's weird?
Yeah.
Yes. Anything's very yes, and I also remembered the actual thing I wanted to ask Tito about weapons-wise.
Yep.
Besides upgrading my gun again, I wanted to show him the pictures we took of the what was the guy's name? The Murderizer?
Oh yeah, Murderizer?
The Murderizer's fucking stabby, like extendo stabby stick thing, so we can make Basil
It's
a
just
weapon.
it's an extendable pole with a knife
yeah,
on
but
it.
Tito can make it better.
It could be, like, blast powered now.
Yeah, there's so much potential for this.
This
I
is
think
just
he
a
just kinda looks at
spear!
it and is
It's
like,
just a spear, you fucking
Yeah,
idiot!
he says, isn't this just a spear?
Yes, but here's the thing: it's a lot more discreet. It's lighter, and it can be used while invisible without
Dude, it's a
breaking
collapsible.
itself.
This is Connar. This is a collapsible spear.
I don't know. Maybe you could make it like kind of like a tentacle or something where you can
Yeah,
hang around and shit.
He says, well, if it was me, I wouldn't just tie a knife to the end of it, because, it seems like what this person was trying to do was make it look like they were stabbing them, and I don't think he really cares, if, you don't necessarily want it to make it appear as if he's stabbing them right next to him, even at range. But, if you want me to, like, come up with a pretty cool spear, I could, but he's got a pretty decent staff already.
I mean, I suppose so. I was just trying to give him.
He's like, look, I'll put explosives on anything. If you want me to put some rockets at the back of that spear, so when he chucks it, they'll go off and it'll just zoom and hit somebody. I can do that. But that's gonna really put some strain on his staff.
Can you make, like, a jack-in-the-box with a dynamite inside?
This is why I was trying to be like, maybe there's other things that we do with, like, the base idea, right? It's like, maybe, like, the spear could be, like, the mechanism lets it, like, curve around, hit people at weird angles, or, like, around corners and shit. I don't know. And it's like, I just like the idea of a discreet weapon that one can use to hit people with a decent range from far away. You know what I mean?
Might as well just have an invisible weapon.
Yeah, he says,
your normal gear.
He says, well, I've got guns.
God damn it! God damn it!
Are you gonna give a shout a gun?
Anymore. Why does everything sound like more advanced weaponry?
Hey, Steven, if you give your child a gun,
the last people I want to give a gun in this campaign is Basil. Trust me.
He's like measuring Basil's arms. And be like, all right, he's taking down measurements.
hey,
Oh, no.
I'm gonna
I feel
be
like
real. Basil is at the size right now that the recoil would fucking knock him out.
Eat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you forget that Basil's also freakishly strong because he's
He's freakishly strong, but he's still a child. That's still going to launch him.
I mean, here's the thing: is Tito and him are very similar heights.
So here's the thing. While you're right,
If anybody was gonna make a gun that
Alright.
was properly
Alright,
sized for
I'm
Mason,
gonna
it'd
I'm
be
gonna let
Tito.
you discuss equipment because Lunu wants nothing to do with Tito.
That's
I gotta
fair,
use the
and time for
restroom and keep texting Bubbles only to get the onion emoji.
So here's the thing: is that yes, he is freakishly strong, but we also. I was watching an earlier session. I saw that Basil is actually lighter in this form. So if he was not ready for the recoil, he would absolutely launch himself across a room when shooting the gun.
That is true, depending on how it was designed for him. And Tito's taking measurements, and if there's one thing Tito's good at, it's properly sizing the weapons. Making it so that way the weapon doesn't misfire and explodes in someone's face, Tito's not as good at.
No.
He suffers with that. But getting it correctly sized, yes, he'll be able to do that.
He did turn everyone into George in the middle of that arena fight.
After he's taking measurements for a little bit, he kind of looks up and he's like, "Do you mean a boomerang?"
To who?
To you. He's like, yeah, he's thinking like all of like the required, like something that you can like hit someone from stealth from far away and it curves around rooms and things. He's like, "Is a boomerang what you're asking me for?"
And then she just thinks for a second and she's like, "Could you make like I don't know, maybe a propeller or rocket powered boomerang that can then just come back to the user but be like way more effective than a normal regularly thrown boomerang?"
He says, "Well, that sounds really difficult, but maybe one that explodes on impact. That'd be easy."
Would it survive the explosion?
Oh no.
I like
No.
Slightly more durable.
He says, "Well, I'll just make a bunch of them."
Just make a bunch of them?
Yeah, no, that way you don't need to worry about like picking them up.
Imagine just like us facing an enemy down, right? And he just gets fucking out of nowhere sniped in the back of the head by an exploding boomerang.
He takes some notes, and then leaves. A couple of days later, he returns with your items. He has not yet had time to make the exploding boomerangs, mostly because I don't have stats for them. But he has upgraded your weapons. So for George and Blair, he provides the weapons for you. They are very similar, except now they are +2 weapons instead of +1 weapons.
Wait, weren't we using +2 weapons, or am I insane?
I don't think so.
Didn't I literally look at the stat block I sent you, just to make sure?
Let me take a look.
Weren't they +2? I could be.
Maybe they were.
I think they were +2.
Did we already do the upgrade? Oh, we did. Alright, they're +3. It was supposed to just be a +1 increase.
Okay. I have a question. Is there anything past +3 or no?
In game, official, no. Unofficial, yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. I was curious because I personally I've never been past a +3. But
honestly, the only like +4 weapon I ever made was for like Knight and Fang Steven. So like,
I have +4 Knight and Fang. I thought that was where I had +3.
Ara had the sword that gave her a +4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, shit. I don't remember having a +3. I guess there's also the potential for.
That's for an off campaign, folks. Don't worry about it.
I guess there's also technically potential for side grades if we think of cool extra abilities that Tito could make into her weapons. But that's it.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Anyway.
So Cinna, he gives you your anchor. The anchor is still a +2, but he says
That bumps it up 1 for me though. It was a +1 before.
And he says, when you start using this in battle, it should focus that wild magic a little bit more. And he says, I ran some calculations, and wild magic isn't something you can really run calculations on, so they're probably not going to be. But he says, around 25% of the time, it should do exactly what it was doing before. And where you're going to hit somebody, something random's going to happen.
Wait, you were saying 25% of the time it does what it did before, where it
Exactly.
will hit someone, and 75% of the time it'll wild magic?
No. Let me finish.
Oh,
So
sorry.
25% it does basically the same exact thing that it does before. And so, out of character, you know this is going to be based off of a D4 die roll. He says another 25% of the time, it should channel your wild magic into the power of the sea. He says, you know, you've become well accustomed to the water here in this world, and according to my calculations, which, like I said, are not 100% because everything is wrong with wild magic, but 25% of the time, it should allow you to ignore difficult terrain that is water-based, such as things like swamps or fast-moving currents. When you rage.
Cool.
So this is the thing that'll happen, like when you rage. And then another 25% of the time, it's the same thing but on land. Both of them also will increase your movement speed by 5 feet per round of those two.
Okay, nice.
And then the last 25% of the time, he says, it'll magnify whatever powers you're manifesting at the time. And so 25% of the time, so you roll a 4 on the die, you can roll on your wild magic table for when you rage again. You also get that second bonus.
Ooh, alright.
If you happen to roll the same one, it counts as the first thing. You'll get one of the random magic abilities that we have been getting.
Mm-hmm.
So out of character, whenever you roll your rage, also roll a d4. If it's a 1, it's the same thing as it was before. A random magical effect will happen. Mostly benign, but theoretically may be helpful or hurtful. If you roll a 2, you get water speed +5, and you can ignore difficult terrains that are caused by water. 3, same thing, but it's land-based. And then 4, you roll another d8 and add that other one to the abilities that you get.
Okay.
And that should be pretty strong, which is why I kept it at the +2. But it's also a little bit random. So that makes me we can tweak it if it ends up not working out. But I think it should. And then I gave Connar his big cool magic weapon last time. And I don't think he's back yet. So I think we'll take a short intermission till he returns, because the next part I'll want you all here for.
Yeah, I don't know what you did to George's weapon, but
it increased it from a +2 to a +3.
Oh, okay. I will.
Yeah, he just upped the quality of it using better materials.
All right. Up it. My sheet.
Yeah,
And then And then these the reason why also you didn't need to pay for these was because the materials were provided by the Science Directorate. The Science Directorate is unofficially directly backing you guys now.
I realize I've been playing with a +1 bonus for this sword the entire time.
Are you serious?
I think what it may have been is that I upped your damage a lot more originally and upped Blair's chance to hit more
Was that what it
originally.
was?
Yes,
I mean,
which is why I got confused. But now both of them will be a +3.
Okay, fair enough.
Functionally, the difference at this point in the game is actually not...
I mean, it obviously did not affect you that much, considering you were literally soloing bosses by yourself this whole time.
Yeah, no.
Even with it being a +1.
Exactly.
That
I
being
need to
said-
make you guys just strong enough so that way I can throw all of the cool monsters at you.
I'm fine with this completely. Yes. The other thing I wanted to potentially just throw out there, right? Not for our weapons, but for Cinna's.
Mm-hmm.
Is that long ago when we were first facing down Miles Terrace with this fucking anchor, and he almost one-shot us with the fucking crazy bubble shit, and then we got the anchor. Well, Cinna got the anchor. I think you mentioned something about maybe one day unlocking its latent potential and being able to potentially use those techniques.
Mhm.
So I just I'm just throwing that out there for the next,
the
next
way
time it gets upgraded, potentially.
the way that I've kind of been doing it is that Cinna's innate magic is overpowering the anchor and is manifesting Cinna's power.
Oh, okay.
rather than-
See, I'm too strong for it. That other guy was too was just like a little bitch boy. So like I've taken
because-
over all the stuff.
Yeah, because a
That's
lot
also
of
fine.
those,
I was just curious.
a lot
I
of
was
those
just curious.
abilities were him doing it. The anchor is just actually a pretty decent focus for channeling latent powers.
Oh.
And even though I have not specified that in my head, that's where I've been going with it.
Oh, that's fine then. Yeah, that's fine too. I was just curious because, like, I was wondering if that would ever be a thing, or just wanted to potentially bring it up. As
Yeah,
an
and
idea.
it's
we
got
get-
that chain on it. Cinna can still chuck it and pull it back.
Yeah.
That chain's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I will be right back.
Okay. So did we get a monetary influx from Charlemagne, or is that not something that's happening?
No, you guys aren't really paid a
Damn.
salary. You're paid in room and board.
Gotcha.
But
So,
if
like,
if there's something that you need that you think would be very helpful, you could probably ask for it at this point. You guys have a good amount of credibility to be able to make requests.
Yeah. So like I don't know if you'd give it to me since you just gave me the thing with the movement speed, but I was looking at horseshoes of speed.
That's fucking awesome. That's so good.
Is that different than boots of speed?
Yeah. It's for quadrupeds, and it gives them an extra 30.
Extra to your feet of movement speed?
Yeah. It's broken a little bit, but like if you had like someone with a mountain combatant, then it's the same thing.
Yeah. They're similar to the hooves of a horse or a similar creature. You would count. By 30 feet. Highs or lows?
Can we get much higher?
Give me a second here.
And if that doesn't work out, there was also another thing I was looking for, just like a bit of a ranged weapon to get at people who are trying to fly up in the air and get away from me.
I'm back.
Do you want some of those exploding boomerangs too?
I mean, some explosions could be nice, but like I'm more used to more traditional weapons. I'm not used to like throwing shit around and having to explode.
Mm-hmm.
maybe I was looking about like I've seen people who are like really big. In the past, I've like fought against like dudes who are really big and they had like these really big bows, and I was like, maybe one of those would be pretty cool.
Can you fire a bow? What stat do you use for that? Is it Dex?
Yeah.
It would.
Oh
be...
yeah, you sent me a thing about the really big bow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it would be Dex,
strength
but
based.
it does strength damage.
Oh.
Let me see where that was, because I remember that just being something that I thought you'd be able to just.
Yeah. So if it's like in the shops or something, then I would be like, yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, the oversized longbow. Here it is. Yeah, that's right. I forgot you'd sent me that. And because you wouldn't be able to great weapon fight with it.
I
Well,
wouldn't.
that's actually
Yeah.
not 100% true. It actually does qualify if you hit somebody with the bow specifically, because it is a heavy two-handed one. But yeah, this is something that you'd be able to just pick up. So I'll say no to the horseshoes of speed, just because I gave you a thing that is going to be improving your speed, and 30 feet is a lot.
Yeah.
But +5, and then the ability to ignore certain types of difficult terrain could be even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, I don't want you breaking the sound barrier. Because with all of your like the barbarian extra movement and then all of that, you'd be able to do it.
I could get at a max, what's it, 170 in a turn?
What the fuck? 170 movement speed?
So we'll stay with that, but the oversized longbow, this is something you just need to order custom. Like a shop wouldn't have it, but pretty much any shop could, like any shop that would sell a normal longbow could theoretically make this.
Okay.
So you just put in a custom order, and in the process of us waiting, you get it back.
Nice. And then, like, just to add on to it, if I could just, like, plant the seed in Tito's head to, like, think about weapons or, like, arrows with, like, maybe not necessarily, like, full-on explosion, but, like, something concussive, so, like, it could, like, knock someone prone or, like, get this dude out of the air. Because, like, I don't want to deal with him up there. But
yeah,
he hovers.
so
Yeah. Never mind.
something that would force people down.
Yeah.
Did you use your anchor for that? Just hook them?
The anchor only goes like 20 feet. This dude is going like
Yeah.
60 feet in the air.
Oh, damn. We can't get a chain extension on it, can we?
Oh, can we?
Well, so the your tattoo gives you 15 feet, right?
Yeah. Is that additive or is that just like 15 feet default? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, it'd be because the shadow, I think, is only for your unarmed strikes, right?
It's for my unarmed strikes and my weapons.
Oh, okay. Because the thing, like the chain, is like an extra thing. It wouldn't really be additive. I'll look into that one.
Okay. Thank you.
But for right now, you get you definitely get the longbow, because that was something that when you had brought up before, I'd looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, that made sense. I kind of forgot about it. Because it's strong, but it's like the only time you're ever gonna want to use it is if you're like literally dealing with someone that you have no other way of hitting, because your melee weapon is going to be doing significantly more damage.
Yeah.
So I don't mind giving that to you.
Okay, thank you very
There-
much.
There's okay. Sorry. There's two things I just thought of. Right.
Yep.
Speaking of the increased chain thing, I was wondering if it would be possible to add like a harpoon, like actual harpooning option to my gun with like a chain or rope attachment or something that would let me like shoot off a harpoon shot, either to make like a little like a tightrope or something if we need to cross the distance, or like to shoot up a rope, kind of like a grappling hook, or like to use it to actually like.
You could just like tie a rope to the spear, no?
So there is a grappling hook thing inside of the book that you can use with an arrow. You'd be able to add that to like you can buy a grappling hook and you can use it with your gun in order to like fire it up in order to climb on it. But in terms of like firing it on somebody and then being able to pull them back in, that would probably be a strength check. So I don't know if that's something that you may want to use, but you could definitely give it a try.
What's my strength again?
Your strength is
It
10.
is
So plus
Yeah.
0.
Oh, is it 0 for Blair? Okay, shit.
Yeah.
Well, the
yeah,
option
because
is still
that's how it would work. But in terms of like firing the grappling hook, you can just pick one of those up. That's okay.
and just combine it to my gun or whatever for flavor.
Well, it'd be like you just have like one of the harpoons just has it on there, and so whenever you need it, you just pull out that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
Cool.
like a separate add-on. Although I guess technically you could, like if you wanted to like have it be like a part of the gun, you could do
Yeah,
that.
just
But
for flavor purposes.
that,
just a little extra
that would be
thing.
just a cosmetic thing. It wouldn't affect the stats or anything like that.
No, yeah, it doesn't need to affect the stats. Just for the flavor of it, and to make
Yeah, but if you want that as
like
like there's like a secondary harpoon already attached that can fire up, that is definitely allowed.
okay, perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. This should make the upgrade feel a little bit more interesting as well.
Yep. Nope,
Just
that is.
I also want to say, I'm not knocking a +3. A +3 is fucking great. But it just makes it seem more. I'm probably gonna rename the weapon to be the underwater harpoon launcher.
Sounds
just
good.
Just as the evolution name for it. So it works even better now. Instead of it just being a spear shot, now it's like it's full on harpoons. So, anyways,
Alright.
that aside, the other thing I want to ask about is if I could potentially try to find some sort of cool magic medium armor as an upgrade. And I'd be willing to also pay if it meant to, like, finding one in a store or something.
So if you go for half plate, half plate has the downside of that it makes you have disadvantage on stealth checks. That actually goes away if it's made out of mithril.
Oh.
You could also just get like a breastplate, and that one has one less AC, but there's no disadvantage, and then you could get like a different magical bonus onto it.
Like what kinds of I guess I'm just wondering because I guess how difficult or expensive would it be to get mithril right now along with our other resources?
With you guys, it'd be pretty easy. I'd probably do a roll to find out if you needed to spend any money in addition, but it'd be mostly provided.
Whereas the other one, sorry, you called it did you say it was the half plate or the breastplate?
Well, yeah, or you can get the half plate with the magic one. You just then take the penalty of the disadvantage to your stealth checks. So that's up to you. But in terms of, we'll probably need to look into like if it like do you just want like a +1 or do you want it to have like some sort of effect?
Right, because the effect would be really cool.
Because so functionally a +1 breastplate and a mithril half plate are the same.
Right. Okay.
So you could get either of those.
Because I also want to say, while magic effect sounds really cool and really interesting, I also have nothing in mind at this present time. However, yeah, I guess I need to look into something that could mesh well with what I'm doing, or is just cool enough to.
Yeah, well, in that case, let's go with the +1 breastplate. Because number one, that still fits with like what your character kind of looks like in terms of like it's not like a big heavy armor thing. And it's something that you could like work into your clothes and have it not be a big deal. Whereas half plate is like you're wearing half of plate armor, like, you know.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense cosmetically for the character. AC wise, it'd be the same. It'd be 15 plus your dex modifier to a max of a +2. So right now, what's your AC right now?
My AC right now is 16 because I have the Ring of Protection on. And some other places that are stacking on top of it right now.
So that would bring you up to what's that? 15 +2, 17 +1, 18. It'd bring you up to 18.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, because with shield, then I go up to 23, which is nice.
Yes. Shield changes things. All right. Are two other people back?
Yep.
Yeah, I've been back.
Nice.
And then we can just figure out the magical effect stuff later then?
Yeah, functionally, you'd be able to get the +1 breastplate without any issue. If we need to do a roll later on, theoretically, like this isn't the end all be all. You'll be able to guys will still be able to upgrade your stuff as we go along.
Yeah,
and theoretically, you might find something that's better anyway. So
that's also true. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So what's going on with George here?
Great question. What is going on with George?
Yeah, George has just been waiting.
Well, so we did you earlier because you got the shield and the +1, or I guess now +3. So your weapon increased from a +1 to a +3.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then so next up, before we, I wanted to give you guys some missions. As you've been going through, of course. Well, let me double check. Connar is here, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right, good.
How much?
I was like,
how much would a ring of protection cost?
Oh, getting jealous, I hear.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah, give me a second.
Because I might not have the money for it.
Yeah.
Ring protection is actually really good. My whole life. Like, it's just really good. You can have up to 3 accessories, right?
Yeah, but that includes like your weapons and your armor and that kind of stuff.
Ah, shit! I did not realize. Okay, so you get one.
It matters if it's attuned, which magic armor and magic weapons usually, if it aren't attunable, unless the magic weapon or armor have a special effect. Like if you just get a +1, whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter.
So like I see. So, but my hex weapon absolutely counts as that, right? There's no way it doesn't, right?
It would count because you have it is specially built. It's probably going to require attunement. 5e stupid like that.
I see.
Rings of protection usually aren't. I don't think.
No, I'm pretty sure they are attunement. Because they also offer like a bonus to like everything.
Yeah,
that's true.
+1
Yeah, it requires attunement.
see, which is super nice.
Okay, I have a slot available for it. How much is it?
Give me a second here. You can get one for 1,000 shiny.
All right. I have 19 shiny.
Right now?
If I buy it.
Ha! Well, you did just get a snazzy new weapon for free.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold off until we finish some jobs. And then...
Alright. So, we
Oh, wait,
will...
I guess the one question I have as well, what was... I guess what was Basil doing during during those weeks? 'Cause I don't think we asked that question.
School.
he's going to school.
Oh, Troy would have just been going to school. Did he
Yeah,
learn any spells?
He does, but I haven't put them on the sheet yet. So, I've got plans for Basil.
Fantastic. Great to hear. I can't wait for him to show us all the cool stuff he's learned.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I really hope he did well in his explosive boomerang throwing class.
Mom comes back with no limbs. I failed my explosive boomerang class.
Don't worry, buddy. That's what rejuvenation is for.
I tried throwing my report card, which had an F on it, but it just flew back in my hand. It's like some cosmic joke.
I didn't even study.
Alright. So over the course of this break, you guys get your stuff upgraded. You talk with Tito. And you get the feeling that the general air of Aetherathi has changed. People are a lot more on edge. Most people kind of just assumed that the status quo was going to continue, and then everything would be good. And now people are like, well, maybe that's not the case. Maybe things are going to get worse before they get better. And you know, you communicate with the other two candidates that kind of share your "we shouldn't murder each other" opinions, and you reach out to form basically a coalition, saying like, "Oh, we're gonna all agree not to do this and not engage in this kind of behavior, and really kind of ostracize them for being willing to do it." And you actually find that it's harder to get in contact with them. They have, their handlers that you haven't really interacted with because you've generally interacted with them directly. Now their handlers are like, oh well, we want to make sure that everything's secure. So, and especially at the very beginning, right afterwards, it's actually really hard to get in contact with them. But you're able to break it down. They know you. And they trust you guys. You guys have built up a good reputation. That it's not as much of an issue as it would have been otherwise. And they agree to basically come out and say the Inquisitor's insane. Why is Necrolita giving him protection? And you all come out fairly strongly with this.
Nice.
And the Pope did say you were going to need to talk with them in order to come up with a way to, get them to eventually even drop out. But you do at first the just getting the negotiations all set up and that kind of stuff. And that's something that you guys should put down as missions, that at some point you'll need to reach out to them, find out if there's anything that you can do to get them to remove. So first mission on the playbook, convince the other two candidates to drop out and support Bubbles,
Yeah.
or
that's-
have Bubbles drop out and support one of them. That's still technically an option. You've not gone so far off.
I think
That's not an
I
option.
think we're going through the option of get rid of whatever this problem is. Honestly, the world would be a better place if we just had a normal fucking election, just Bubbles versus these two, than the fucking insanity that was the rest of the candidates.
Well, you have another mission. While you're going about, you find out that Necrolita is not currently married. In fact, actually, none of the candidates are married, but Necrolita, unlike the other candidate, does have is in a relationship.
Oh.
You find out that her partner is one of the leading undersea animal race athletes. And you all having experienced your dinosaur racing experience in the past, believe it or not, some of you can qualify to go into a race against him. So one of the possible missions that you guys could do is embarrass Necrolita's boyfriend in an official race.
I really hope it is a Kalamazoo.
Is it Kalamazoo?
It is not Kalamazoo.
Is it that
But
other
here's
guy
the
who's
thing
in the
is that
paper?
God.
That
Mhm.
crazy that guy who
no, because remember, those Kalamazoo and Shenandoah, the other one, are both essentially purely dinosaur racers. The funny thing is, though, is that since you do know both of them could also enter the race.
Yeah.
Out of all of you, though, only one of you guys has won a race in the past and therefore can qualify. Do you remember who it was?
It was
Was it
me.
Chefs?
No, it was me.
It was
It was
you
Lunu?
with fucking. What was your dinosaur's name?
Was this like Strawberry or something like that?
No, it was something dancer.
Oh, Tiny Dancer.
It was
Oh, yeah.
Tiny Dancer.
So for this one, there's going to be some setup that you would need to do, that you would know in order to do this properly. Number one, you need to get a really good mount. And then
Okay.
once you do that, you could enter. If you wanted to try and convince Kalamazoo or Shenandoah to also join, you probably also need to get them mounts as well. You know,
I was gonna.
you just need one of you guys to be able to beat them.
Yeah.
You would know, since you guys have lived here for a while. There is kind of a what do you call it? Kind of like a rivalry between the undersea riders and the dinosaur riders. The undersea riders kind of see themselves as being more prestigious, and they kind of look down upon the dinosaur riders. So that's something that you may be able to go to Shenandoah or somebody else and be like, hey, you know, like these guys, they don't think about anything new. We're gonna go beat them. You want in? That's
wait,
an option,
sorry.
or you can just put Lunu up to it. But you will definitely absolutely lose unless you get some sort of really good mount.
So when
Just
you say-
a normal hireling mount will not cut it.
So
Yeah.
sorry, when you say undersea racers, do you mean with undersea creatures racing, or the
Yep.
Yeah,
the
undersea
The race
creatures.
happens in the water.
Yeah.
It goes around Aethervathy.
Luna is the only one able to ride, which, to be fair, I can speak to animals. So this helps me in motivating my guy. However,
Can you breathe underwater consistently?
Consistently, no. With spells, yes.
Okay.
So
as
there's-
long as your magic doesn't run out, you'd be able to compete.
So I think I have a way for us to get a mount. And
You're
while
gonna
they're
talk to your
not,
guy.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I'm looking at water breathing. 24 hours.
Perfect. That's all you'd need.
Yeah.
So the good news, Lunu, is that because you can talk to animals, you could probably talk to the followers of my patron, who are also I guess, pretty decently intelligent, powerful sea creatures, from what I can tell, or at least from everything I've seen. They're pretty legit. So, like, I'm pretty sure there's probably some of them that could serve as a pretty decent fucking mount.
If you get me the whale, I swear to God, it's gonna be
Yeah.
so funny. Where's Lunu? Lunu fell off the whale like an hour ago, but his whale still crossed the finish line.
We'll go more into the details. I want to finish off the next mission first. So basically, right as we're nearing the end of this time skip, as you guys are coming up with these ideas of things that have been found, you get a text message from Bubbles that's not all emojis.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's not good.
Oh, it could be good. What if it's everything's all clear, guys? I figured it all out.
I bought the onions, guys.
Yeah, Lunu. Lunu's getting up, brushing their teeth. Notices the text message. Spits out their toothpaste. Guys, we got a message.
Ooh. Like, you should see Jordan.
From
What are
who?
you saying?
Bubbles.
Oh my God! Is it about more produce?
Oh my! It's like you almost did like a Rich Evans, like, oh my God!
Anyway.
Nope, it's actually a somewhat decently sized paragraph. Which is odd for Bubbles.
Yeah, no, this is weird.
Into where Bubbles explains that they have a mission for you.
Oh no! Oh no!
Bubbles' missions are rare, but you have gone on them before.
Yeah, and we see how that turned out.
Yeah, they're usually really weird.
Bubbles says, "Hey guys, I have a completely normal mission for you. This one's not weird at all, I promise." They say, "I've been doing some deft diplomacy, and I need a little bit of an advantage. You see, I don't want to bore you all with the details, so I'm not going to provide them. But I need you all to assist with stopping a war and maybe possibly starting one."
I'm forwarding the message to Charlemagne. Translate, please.
Well, hold on. So then, in the next paragraph, Bubbles says, currently, the two largest powers in the world are the Boros Company and then the Omni. Is it Empire?
Yeah, the
Kingdom?
Empire of Omni.
The Empire of Omni. And they happen to border each other. So, what we need to do is we need to get them to be too distracted with each other to focus on Aethervathy for just a little bit so I can finish up the negotiations that I'm doing. And the best way for us to do that, I've determined, is to kidnap both of the ambassadors to Aethervathy and then blame it on each other. And then while they're confused, I'll take care of everything.
That doesn't make any sense! Why would we kidnap them to each other's homelands?
Well, no. So these are the ambassadors that are in Aethervathy from those locations. Yes. And Bubbles then goes on to explain their plan, which involves you disguising yourselves as members of the Boros Company to infiltrate and steal or kidnap the ambassador from the Empire of Omni. And then dressing up as members of the Empire of Omni and breaking into the Boros Company embassy and kidnapping that ambassador. And then Bubble says, I'll provide you with some magical disguises, and I'll forward this information to Fern and see if he can get you inside the embassies.
We're going to do things today.
And then at the bottom of it, oh, by the way, no rush. I kind of need this done in like the next 2 weeks, but you don't have to do it right now.
Blair just stares at the message like, we're
feel-
so fucked.
Do you guys text anything back?
I text back a single onion emoji and press send. And I wait to see how she responds.
What?
What?
She's like, I don't understand what this means.
Does it feel so good now, does it?
Do you respond?
She says, I'll take this as a you guys got it. Thanks. She says, by the way, if you can only kidnap one of them, definitely kidnap the one from Omni first. But if you only kidnap one of them, they might go to war.
Wait, why wouldn't they go to war if they were both kidnapped?
The confusion about what happened.
Or they're just thinking, wouldn't they just think that Aethervath had kidnapped both of them?
They respond back with, no, you guys are going to be in disguises.
We're so screwed!
I'm not sure how well you could disguise me. Do you get like a different outfit? Can I get like a big hat?
We'll have to polymorph.
Bubbles responds back, don't worry, it'll be magic.
You must know a hell of a tailor, huh?
She
I
says, I'll
just
forward
feel
all
like-
this stuff to Fern.
I feel like
I'm gonna go do my research. I know very little about Omni, but I can definitely do some research.
We're about to become war criminals. We're about to start a
Blair. The potential of
Bubbles
being war
responds-
criminals has always been on the table. This has been a thing since we've had
are
a fucking
adventurers.
job.
we are adventurers.
In response to the war criminals thing, Bubbles responds back with an onion.
God damn it!
And then a winky face.
She absolutely knows what it means.
I still don't. I don't get what those are. How do you get those?
Can I ask Charlemagne if he knows what the onions mean?
Charlemagne says that he's never understood what any emoji means.
God damn it.
Right?
He says, I don't get it.
God.
He says, I understand that the smiley face means that you're happy, but I don't understand what a smiley winky face means.
Do you understand what an eggplant means?
He says, I unfortunately was informed what it means, yes. He says, it was very embarrassing for everybody involved.
Charlemagne out here sending aubergines to people.
What the fuck? What is there an aubergine emoji? There's no way.
Well, it's an eggplant.
Oh, I didn't realize that wasn't okay. Anyways,
I thought it was an aubergine. What
I
was
thought it was-
wrong?
That was the type of orange. Shut up.
Well, is that where we're gonna leave our session today?
Nope, I've got one more mission to lay on you guys.
Okay.
Oh man.
Who comes into
Throughout
the
this
house?
time period,
Who comes into
Sorry,
the house
what?
like a sitcom character to give us our next sub quest?
So while you all are going through this time skip, there are events that are happening around you. And one of them is something that at first you all are very happy about, and that is the Union has started to consolidate power in Nevermire.
Oh.
And they have been coming up with reasons to revoke petty nobles' lines of nobility, and then have been basically nationalizing their property. They have not gone after the Wheat family, as the Wheat family is under your guys' protection. But they have been starting to send you guys some messages saying that they would really like to go after the Wheat family, and that it looks really bad if there's one particular group of people they're not going after. And they suggest that maybe you move the Wheat family to Ormos and get them an equivalent title of nobility in Ormos that they trade for the one in Nevermire, so that way the Union can nationalize that territory. They're making this as a suggestion, and it's very friendly and formal, but you get the feeling that this is also a demand.
Do we have a fucking castle laying around they can move into? Because,
So, that's something you'll have to figure out. The best people to probably talk to about that would be the count that is currently in charge of your area, Count Strix.
does he have a name?
Count Strix.
Strix. Sorry.
It was only said like once or twice at the beginning. The Triceratops man, who
Right.
has been nothing but beneficial to you, and you guys ignore him.
We should probably give him like a house gift or something.
And then of course also Charlemagne is probably a good person to
man
talk
make
to. You can also reach out to the Wheat family directly and explain the situation and see if they have any ideas.
Yeah.
But you get the feeling that the Union wants some movement on the question of the Wheat family. Then it doesn't seem like they're going to immediately evict them. But if you don't do anything, then in the future they may do that, which would be bad.
Yeah, especially since like that's your, that's your partner, Luna.
not
Yep.
really.
In terms of the optics, is the thing that makes it the most bad. Your deals with the Wheat family are meant to appease the aristocracy in other areas to make it seem like you guys are willing to negotiate with them, even though you've basically that's not really what you're doing. You've really kind of subjugated them, kind of. And you've got tricky medieval politics that you need to navigate. So that is the last mission that I have for you all today. So
I can't wait
Um,
for our group to just say fuck this entire interregnum and go, all right, we're doing a republic, y'all, or we're at least doing a democracy.
technically this is a democracy because there's a vote.
Yeah, more so
Yeah.
of an elected leader that isn't a monarch that
Yeah.
and have regular elections.
Sorry, Luna. It's a democracy. It's just that only people who matter can vote.
I mean that's what it currently is.
Yep.
But what if people that actually matter, who the people who make the buildings and run the power and instead of all the people who sit in their fancy little couches and reap the rewards of the masses.
Honestly, that's why I've been voting for Bubbles. I want to see what fucking hellfire she would bring.
Honestly, same.
Full on scorched earth. Let's go.
Yeah, fuck this city.
I've always been interested in a little chaos myself.
Hey, don't say that. Kalamazoo lives here. He's great. He's one of the best things about this place.
I said chaos. I don't know where that. What?
George said fuck this city. I'm like, hey, Kalamazoo lives here.
Oh,
He's
okay.
great. Yeah. Also, Fern's from here. He's good too.
Oh yeah.
There's plenty of great people. who
Fern's
live
an
here.
immigrant.
Yeah.
He wasn't born in Nethervathy.
Yeah, but he lives here. He's
Yeah, he
chilling.
lives
He
here.
does live here. With that
Yeah.
being said, you guys also live here, so
Yeah.
I can leave. I can just like take my portal and go.
Yeah. My
I
home is
don't
the
know.
sea.
that's it. You guys just be like, you just go to Fern, Kalamazoo. You're just like, guys, what if we just left? Like the people that you like.
Yeah. Charlemagne, are you coming?
Give him the option at least.
Where would we go? I mean, like, if we were doing like a Noah's Ark situation, that's one thing. But where the fuck are we going?
Exactly.
hang out in the
You
dream
could
world?
go deep into the jungle, far beyond where civilization has ever reached.
Yeah, but that's.
I gave you guys that option at the beginning of the campaign. I don't remember if you remember about abandoning the election and just go jungle exploring, and you guys decided to stay with the election. But technically, nothing's ever stopped you from abandoning it and then just going into the jungle and then never coming
Could
back.
you have actually Indiana Jones jungle exploration campaign?
All
Look,
right.
all I'm saying is that this is technically a spin-off of another campaign. You know, that's probably going to be the spin-off of this one. It's the Endless Jungle campaign.
Okay, that sounds actually kind of rad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. Anyway.
But first, let's make sure you guys don't all die.
Yep.
That's true. Wait, do we have to roll highs or lows at the end of the time to see if we survive?
No, but there probably will be a roll based on what you guys do in terms of like how good things are for your characters after.
Will this be on the test?
Roll to see if we get assassinated.
And it also depends on like where you guys actually end up. Because if you're like, I just want to leave, then the roll's probably not gonna be that big of a deal. But if you're like, I'm gonna, work to infiltrate and overthrow the monarch we install, you're gonna overthrow Bubbles and make yourself the one true king, then that's gonna be a tough roll. I'm just gonna let you know.
I already tried that. It didn't work out well for me. Everyone just called me a joke and made me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, but you're a lot more powerful now than you were back then.
You're bad and you should
Yeah,
feel
but I
bad.
can't fight everyone. Look at George. He's invincible.
Hey,
Yeah, I
I just-
fucking need you.
hey, Steven,
It's like
I know,
I could
It's
definitely
like,
beat Lunu in a fight because he'd never
Oh.
fucking hit me with anything.
like
Hey,
George walks in, he's
I'm
like,
gonna
"Hey,
be real
somebody
with
tried
you.
to."
Steven, I could so kill you. All I'd have to do is polymorph into Big Monkey. Wait till I
Oh my
crit.
god, if you polymorph into a big monkey, you'd lose instantly.
No, if I
All I'd
po-
have to do is cast fly on myself and I would just shoot you for pellets.
I
for
can
like 10
throw
minutes.
rock.
First off, turning into the big monkey's a bad idea. You should turn into the giant crab
Oh yeah, of
because-
course, you're right.
because the one advantage that Blair has over all of you is mind control,
That's true.
Oh,
And-
and if I
and the
combine,
monkey and the monkey is highly susceptible to that.
you're right. I'll turn into the big crab, and she'll never be able to
But-
hit me.
At the same point, would you be willing to turn into the giant crab, knowing how much you hate the fact that the giant crab is immune to charm conditions?
As much
You'd
as
be
I hate
giving in
it,
to me.
as much as I
You'd
hate
be
it,
giving in.
I'd be
It
giving
means
in.
that I would win.
Here's the thing.
So I could take all y'all out given enough time.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
honestly,
no.
Blair,
Just give
Blair's
me enough
never
prep
gonna-
time, and I think I could kill
I
all
know,
of you.
I
if
know
you like.
Steven themselves is too stupid to think about the mind control magic in a one-on-one fight.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely was too stupid. It was nothing but that all my plan was.
Yeah, exactly.
To
Yeah,
my
you were gonna
plan
fly
was
away,
to
and
turn
I
the
was just gonna
monkey.
chuck rocks at you that do like fireball amounts of damage.
No, but how high can you chuck the rock?
Oh, hundreds. I can throw those.
It's like King Kong throwing a car through New York City level.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the best part, Steven. Oh, you reduced my monkey form to 0. Next turn, cast polymorph on myself, turn back into monkey.
The crab doesn't have anything like that, but it does have grapple, and nothing stopping the crab from improvised weapon chucking something too.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be as good. But the good news is that means in some ways you guys counter each other, you know?
Yeah.
But really, when you're most powerful, when you work together.
Exactly.
You should
Yeah.
weaponize the friendship and sell it as weapons.
Dude, druids are so bullshit. You could have like an infinite fucking health pool. Why the fuck am I playing? What? Why am I gonna play one of those dumbasses?
Because they're not good. All what I have to do is throw one monster that has. Well, actually, I gave you the weapon. Really, that weapon that I gave you,
Yeah.
Connar, is the most powerful polymorph tool that I could have given you.
Yeah,
So
if
you're
you could
welcome.
actually give me the description of that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where is it? I think I put it down somewhere. It's a +2, but it adds, if you wild shape or polymorph, the bonus is added to your natural attacks. So
yeah,
it wouldn't
that
work
helps a
on
lot.
the rock throw. Funny enough, the rock throw it wouldn't work, but for the punches, it would get the bonus, and then it would be treated as a magic weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mostly because if you don't have that, then pretty soon every single boss is just not affected by your polymorphs at all.
Yeah.
Which is the downside of polymorph, is that higher level monsters just don't care about being attacked by like a CR8 monster. It's just they're like, oh no, a CR8 monster.
Oh no!
Yeah, even though it's a giant monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely busted. That's wild. That's so good.
Are we wrapping up?
At the end of the day,
Yep.
it is by no means the most powerful builds.
Oh,
of the
no,
game.
no, it's not.
It's just a fun interaction. But with that, that's all I have for you guys today.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for the
we
trauma,
will,
Mr. DM.
huh?
Thanks for the trauma, Mr. GM.
Oh no, this isn't trauma. This is just setup.
So plug.
Yep, plugs.
Hey, I'm Boosh /Connar/Lunu this session. I didn't do a lot except cry and find out more about my family. You can find me, Boosh, at Conjoin Artist on Instagram and Blue Sky, Con the Artist on Twitter, and join the Discord, be our friend. We're doing Conjoin Cast again. A few episodes have been streamed up at this point. This episode's probably coming out late April. What else? Subscribe on YouTube. Been loving the feedback here and there. People still comment on that Corey Coleman video still. It's very funny because they're trying to figure out if I'm fibbing, if this was all an act, and I'll never tell them. Anyway, gonna pass it over to Austin.
Hey, you can find me at Octo_Ross on Twitter where I exist. Hey, Tasura.
Oh, hi, I'm Tasura. I play Cinna. I'm becoming an unstoppable force of nature, both in life and in-game. Yeah. So, I exist. You'll find me in your shower drains. You'll find me in your medicine cabinets. Just look hard enough. Steven.
Yarg! I be becoming a force, an unstoppable force even on the high seas. And let me tell you,
killed you, Pirate Jordan, Steven.
no, you killed French, regular, and surfer dude pro Steven, but Pirate Steven yet lives.
Oh, no. We killed Pirate Steven, but I like to imagine now this is zombie Pirate Steven in order to really kind of mimic George.
Yarg, this is zombie Pirate
22
Steven.
guiding bolt. I rolled a 22 on a guiding bolt. They're
Just
vulnerable.
now?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
so
no,
here's
what's
the
the
thing
damage?
is I don't know what kind of stats a zombie pirate has, but a 22 would hit.
So
What's the
that's a
damage?
total of 23 damage.
Yarg!
Oh,
It'd be the
oh,
end for zombie Pirate Steven.
Yeah, I'll say it kills him.
But as I die, allow me to plug myself. You can find me at Venty179 on Twitch and YouTube, and 1Venty79 on the Twitter, or Venty on Blue Sky, if that is the social media platform you prefer. Now I will go to my second watery brain. Yeah!
Tom.
Beautiful. Academy Award winning.
All right. So my plug for today, all right, is creating an AI image generator. All right. But so here's the thing is that all what it does is it goes to other AI image generators and asks them to generate the images. And then once it's compiled enough of the AI generated images, it will then generate AI images based off of those AI images. And then you create 50 more programs that do the same exact thing. And then, all pulling from the previous one. And so when you finally get to the 50th, you ask it to generate an image. And whatever it generates, it's got to be the most monstrous of all creation.
Tom, that sounds like a good way to make your computer explode.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously you would need to run each of these on different computers, and you would probably need a massive budget. The good news is that at least for the first one, you're just taking from other AI images in terms of like pulling the resources. Yeah, that's my plan. It's only going to cost me, millions of dollars, but don't worry, guys.
Seems
When
like a
it's
good
all
investment
done,
to me.
Good night,
I
everybody.
guarantee you the picture that it will fire out will be a picture of God.
Mm-hmm.
Good night,
The
everybody.
God Xerox.
Good night, everybody.